Hello everyone. Welcome back to this channel. This time, we're going to discuss some leaks I've come across, which seem very exciting. And these leaks also come from a fairly credible source, namely Luna and Anon Leaks. Alright, let's not waste any time and get right into it. Okay, so yesterday we discussed the delay in the release of Cyrene Beta v3. However, a day after the news of the delay spread, Luna, one of the fairly credible sources, posted a very interesting statement. In her post, Luna wrote a short but quite surprising statement, v3 on Monday. This means that the beta v3 version is expected to be released on Monday, or about 3 days from now. But what's even more interesting, Luna added further clarification in her post. If you have the client, you can check the update times for most files. You'll find that v3 was actually completed before today. Why it was delayed until next Monday? I don't know, and I don't dare ask. From this statement, it can be concluded that beta v3 has actually been fully completed. In other words, Hoyoverse has already prepared beta v3, but for some reason, the release of this version is still postponed until Monday. Interestingly, Luna herself admitted to not knowing the exact reason behind this decision. This makes players wonder, is Hoyoverse indeed preparing something big for Cyrene? Not stopping there, Anon Leaks also came up with some additional information that further strengthens Luna's speculation. However, Anon Leaks gave a special note that this information has about a 50% truth rate, meaning only half of the leaks he shared can be confirmed true, so half of what he talked about is fake. The first leak shared by Anon Leaks is information about beta v3, which will be released on Monday, meaning this information aligns with the statement from Luna. The similarity of information from two credible sources certainly strengthens its validity. In addition to the news about the release timing, Anon Leaks also provided a bit of information regarding some changes to Cyrene's special buff in beta v3. First, Anon mentioned that Ode to Life and Birth received a buff. This is Cyrene's special buff for Castor Ice. In the previous beta v1, this special buff was actually quite ordinary, making Cyrene only serve as a side grade in the premium Castor Ice team. If this special buff is buffed, will Cyrene become one of the best new supports for Castor Ice? Next is Ode to Reason, which received a nerf. This is Cyrene's special buff for Anaxa. In the previous beta v1, this special buff unexpectedly could make Anaxa's team an upgrade from the previous team. However, this could happen if using a sustainless composition and facing enemies with an ultimate recharge mechanic like Lygus. Next is Ode to World Bearing. This is Cyrene's special buff for Phanon. According to Anon Leaks, this special buff will receive a buff. Will the additional damage in v3 be physical instead of fire? Overall, Anon Leaks shared 4 points in his leak. However, he himself mentioned that only 50% of his information is true, meaning only 2 of the 4 pieces of information. If we look at the similarity of information with other sources, the beta v3 release timing is almost certainly true, as both Luna and Anon Leaks stated the same thing. Although if we look at HomDG-Cat, it is written there that beta v3 is still time unknown. And I personally can't guess which is the last true piece of information among the 3 special buff skills. But, if I had to guess, then there's a possibility that the true information is about the special buff for Castor Ice receiving an improvement. The reason is simple, because if we look at the news about Cyrene before she entered beta, there was a lot of information saying that she would be a dedicated support for HP Remembrance, namely the Castor Ice team. So, it makes sense if the special buff for Castor Ice will receive an improvement in beta v3. However, my guess could be wrong. And what do you think? Which 2 pieces of news do you think are true from what Anon Leaks shared? Write your opinions in the comments section. And don't forget to share this information with your friends who also play Honkai starrail. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on other important update. See you in the next update.